welcome, namaste. Hey, thank you for joining me from wherever around the world you are viewing this video. And Sagittarius, this is your reading for July. We are using the 3 different decks in front of us, and there will be 3 cards from each, which should give us a nice complete reading. So Sagittarius, before I started your reading, I did some intuitive work and we received some of the messages about not giving up on a project. If you've been close to thinking that you might give up, you're coming towards the end of a completion of something. And for some of you, this might be related to a career, as in the works that you love in life, or the job that you love in life, or that you're working with. Also, there might be something to do with your third eye chakra and the colour purple, as well as possibly attending some functions where food and events or nature are bound, and also the feeling of maybe money on your mind, and possibly in a positive way, as well as maybe romance and the feeling of the heart connection. So quite a positive bunch of cards or energies that turned up for you guys before the reading. So I'm just going to move these now, and we will start with this deck, and we will shuffle for Sagittarius in mind for July 2018. One more. Okay. Victory. That's always a nice thing. The second chakra, Archangel Ariel, and Storm Warning. We look at the next 3 cards from the John Holland Psychic Tarot deck. Love Begins. Number 5, Wisdom. And number 5 again, Obstacles and Challenges. Looks like this line down here is giving off a little bit of a challenge, shall we say, something to ponder upon. Let's see what. So now we have the Morgan Greer cards, which we will shuffle for the intent for Sagittarius for July 2018, and see what comes out of these cards. I've picked these 3 predominantly for colour this month because I think the colour palettes on them are really interesting. So you have Temperance reversed, you have the Moon, and you have the King of Pentacles. So number 5, the Wisdom, is the Hierophant card. It's one of the major arcanas, and this one down here, Temperance, is also a major arcana for you, and so is the Moon, and so is the Storm Warning in the top card. In essence, it's very much like the Tower card, I guess we could say. So primarily I'm reading down the columns from this way down. However, the messages are very free-flowing, and they're able to be attached onto any other message within the reading. It depends on how you feel you are picking up what's being said as well. Now the card in the middle, number 5, the Wisdom card, it seems to be touching all of the other cards within the reading. I've kind of noticed this as the readings have evolved for the month. So it gives off a little bit of its own innate energy that kind of cross transfers throughout the reading, so it becomes a relatively important card, even though we're doing columns, and in essence that card in the middle wasn't meaning anything at the beginning of this cycle of readings. It has taken on a firmer tone. So the Hierophant card is very stoic. It's very about traditional values and beliefs and fitting in with status quo. It can also reference, unlike that helicopter flying by outside, it can reference uplifting, peaceful meditation and wisdom and esoteric knowledge as well. Now Sagittarians are well known as being one of the people, or the signs rather, that's really interested in the esoteric, the spiritual, the religious belief systems of the planet as well. Now we also have a a series of eclipses starting in July. I think there's 3. There's 2 in July and 1 in August. And in 2 of your cards really strongly connected to each other, we reference the moon, and then we see the sun here as well. Well, I think it's the sun. It's a wee bit odd that this glow is emanating from below the sun, but it could be emanating from the Book of Wisdom. So there's reference there about ecliptical energies. Sagittarius, you might be quite affected by the eclipses coming. We know that eclipses bring out the hidden agendas of life. So the stuff that we have either been not wanting to face, or we haven't been ready to, or we haven't been aware of. So these are new thought energies that can come our way, and they can change direction. Well, they can change the way we've been headed in certain directions, and they can sometimes put us a little bit asunder with what's coming. Unexpected sort of changes. Let's start over here with the 28th, the Victory, then Love Begins, and then the Temperance reversed. So Victory card, it speaks for itself. It is suggesting that there is something in your life at the moment where there is a success coming or a victory coming. Now it says Love Begins underneath it. So this could, which in essence is the Ace of Cups, which is a beautiful card to receive. This can be about new fertility, new conception of ideas, new love coming into your life, not just romantic, but the love from friendships, or the love you feel yourself about some connection within your life. So it could be a closer spiritual, religious concept, like a feeling of a greater awareness and connection to the ethos, if you like. But it could also be about romantic liaisons. So for some of you, if that's what you're looking for, romance might be coming into your life, and it might be someone very special indeed. So when we see the reversed Temperance, it's a very similar message to the Temperance, the same way up, or the right way up. So it talks to us about pondering balance in our life and how to find balance. Now I also find it very interesting that this card is upside down, and it's water, and it's water being poured from a cup or a chalice by one person going into a pool of water with greenery surrounding it. And then if we look up into this one, it's as if it's almost a mirror, because there's a cup or a chalice being poured into a pool of water with 2 hands in the picture. However, it seems to me that these are 2 different people, but the cards are almost mirroring each other, so I feel that they are connected in quite a strong way. So this balance in the Temperance card could be suggesting to you that there is a possibility around love. It seems we have such a busy airspace going on outside my home today. I do live not far from a military air base, and some days they do practice more than others, but it's something that we have to learn to work with when we're doing a reading. So coming back to the reversed Temperance, it is probably giving you an indication that you still need to temper something or balance something out. So possibly when this new love comes, or this awakening that you might be experiencing, you still need to balance it somehow. So it's probably a message about not becoming over-absorbed or, over-interested in one particular perspective of your life, or one aspect, or maybe one person. So there might be a message there to say everything still needs to continue on, and you need to pay equal balance to many different perspectives of your life as well. There could be, for some of you, it's love that's reignited. So if you're in a familiar, close relationship already, and it doesn't have to be a romantic one, this could be friends or family members, this may also be a time suggesting where there is a healing taking place, or whether there is a reconnection of some sort. But definitely it's a very positive alignment, that first row, and focusing on the Victory is a great essence for it. And especially if you've been trying to find love or look for harmony within relationships, it feels as though there is something coming that you might just suddenly get the aha moment and go, oh wow, now I see what I need to do or how I need to behave. It's kind of things along those lines. If we come to the second row and we see second chakra, Archangel Ariel, and then Wisdom, and then the Moon, that row in itself has quite a lot of that goldeny, orangey hues running through it. The second chakra is the orange chakra down by in through our lower stomach area. It's called the sex chakra zone as well because it covers off all that part of our bodies, both male and female. It's also the seat of creativity for us. So when this chakra is blocked, which it might be when these chakra cards turn up in a reading, it can indicate that we have a blockage of creativity or passion or receptivity or fertility. You can unblock these chakras by meditation, by seeing a specialist, by having massage, by wearing the orange or eating the orange foods, or asking for active energy help from Archangel Ariel, who is the angel supporting that chakra. And you might suddenly feel like a freeing up of energy in that part of your body. So it also sort of supplements or holds through to the ligaments in and around your hips and thighs, your lower back, and in through that intestine area as well. So if any of you have suffered blockages in that part of your body, this might be something to really think about to help get it moving. Another way to get that creativity and that chakra flowing moving is through meditation and also listening to binaural beats that actually amplify that part of the body, as well as walking and exercise. They're very, very good for helping to free flow that part of our bodies as well. And the reason I said that was because I saw so much orange coming through these first two cards and a little bit of yellowy orange down here as well. So we move to the wisdom card, that middle one that we've talked a little bit about before, and we see the Hierophant. And I have kind of really said what I believe he is saying about status quo and fundamentally not challenging too many things at the moment, like being an upright citizen, if you like, following diplomatic or diplomacy and acting with the positive intent of being supportive and helpful and structural to other people as well as yourself, as well as the possibility of enlightenment or increased awareness of wisdom that could be coming to you. And given that we have the moon card underneath, where we've been talking about the eclipses maybe affecting things, the moon card is also about increased awareness and intuitive gut feelings, and the sacral chakra is just beneath the gut. So this whole thing is talking to us a little bit there about that area of our body and trusting your gut instincts and listening to them. Some of you might become quite intuitive at this point in time. You might have illuminating dreams. You might become psychic and have mediumship qualities yourself. This is also about emotions. It's a very emotional time when the moon shows up. Sometimes it even indicates that things could be happening undercover or at night when people aren't fully aware of what's going on around them. And there can be water sign people involved in this as well. And this card can sometimes turn up when there's a bit of deceit going on. Things like affairs or hidden stuff within relationships. So whether or not that plays a part for any of you, I'm uncertain. If it does, it might be suggesting to you to trust your gut instincts. Do you really trust what you're doing? Do you really think that the other person that you might be dealing with is trustworthy? Now, this doesn't just have to be a romantic type affair that I'm talking about. This could be the potential thinking of buying a business or going into partnership with someone. Coming back to this card which says make sure you're doing things properly and following status quo and kind of following the rule book a little bit, I think could be quite important. I also see with this book here, even though that is a book of wisdom, it could be taken to be a journal to write down your ideas and thoughts and dreams and aspirations, and this may be a very poignant place for you to gain insight as you move forward. Often when we write things down, we go back and reread them a month or two later and we're quite surprised at some of the insights that can be hidden within those words. So writing things down might be quite important for you Sagittarians as well. So we come over here to the storm warning and we see literally a storm. So some of you could be encompassing a storm physically at the moment. And let's face it, with climate change and climate extremes the way they are, pretty much everyone goes through storms somewhere or another. But some of you might find this when you're traveling or around your own home. So if it is a geographical storm, hopefully you're well prepared and you listen to weather updates and things such as that. The other meaning of this card can clearly be a emotional storm. Now this can sometimes suggest that there is tension around you within relationships. Given that we had such beautiful clarity over here and this wonderful feeling of love and feeling of success, even though you've had to kind of learn to balance it all out, over here we're feeling a little bit the complete opposite. So maybe which is what the balance could be coming into it. Maybe there are some parts of relationships for you that just aren't in harmony at the moment, and you're having to work extra hard to figure them out, or why are we friends, or why can't we see eye to eye anymore? Relationships probably in all reality in life aren't going to work through the whole life being there all the time. Most of the time, in fact, there is no relationship other than the one you have with yourself that you have for an entire life. Because even your parents, if you had a good relationship with them, and a lot of people don't, they bring you into life, but for most of us, they pass on before we do. And so then if you have a marriage partner, you haven't known them your whole life. And then if you have a child yourself, you haven't known them your whole life either. So most relationships we have are not lifetime. They come in for reasons and they come in for seasons. And sometimes these are the times when a storm warning appears that we have to think about, why is this happening? Can it be rectified, or do we choose to part ways and move on? And that's the logical reasoning behind things that occur when they become full of tension and angst. It's, can it be sorted and resolved and move forward positively, or is it better for us to part because we are no longer positively engaging each other and being, uplifting for each other? And it's just the reality of life that it happens. And under here we have obstacles and challenges, which is the Five of Wands. Again, it means a similar kind of thing. There's just feeling of tension in the air. Now sometimes this can be at work. And in fact, with this one, because it's Wands and this one it's Pentacles, this might be for some of you in an area of your career that there's tensions going on, or there's discombobulation, or there's people fighting about who they are, or what their positions are, or what they think isn't happening at work, or what someone else is doing. That staff room chatter where there's backstabbing going on and people telling lies about other people. It almost feels as though some of that could be going on around. So it's about working through it. You see that particular card there is a person crossing a broken plank. So it's about getting to the other side of the plank and getting there in as safe a way as possible, traversing the difficulties but getting to the other side. So knowing how to do it, how to approach people and situations without it fully blowing up into another storm. So there's obviously a little bit of caution in that last column, and it definitely involves other people, not just yourself, and situations. So for some of you this could be career or around your jobs. For others it could be within families or friends. And we see this guy here, the King of Pentacles. He may even be involved. He usually is an earth sign and usually does represent a male or someone who's quite masculine, and oftentimes of the middle ages, the middle age upwards, although it doesn't have to be. So he could be a boss and he might be showing his stubborn side, or there could even be money involved in this whole section here. Somebody could be arguing about money with you. Either they've borrowed it and they don't want to pay it back, or they're wanting to loan it off you, or they're questioning your money or your ethics or how you earned it, or how did you get that, or where did that come from. there's a whole bunch of stuff starting to jump up out of the cards as we move into it. But overall, it'll be how you handle it, how you digest it, how you decide to what information you want to share with them. And just remember this card down here as well. I would keep some things to myself in the month of July for you guys, knowing that the eclipses are on board and traversing around, and definitely temper out your balance what needs to be done in the month as well, and make sure that you put yourself first and utilize your inner knowledge, your innate knowledge and your gut instincts with situations around you. So there we are, Sagittarius. There's quite a lot of interesting stuff in the reading for you. Definitely the first column is very light filled and offering of newness, new possibilities, awareness, beginnings, as I say, possibly love and possibly romantic. The second one talks to us a little bit more about the physical body, but also the spiritual as well. And the third one is talking about groups of people and situations around you, I think. So yeah, quite comprehensive. Hey guys, thank you for listening. I love it when you leave your comments and when you sub and like the channel. That all goes towards, you know, seeing the next uploads when they arrive. And I thank you again for tuning in. Remember to watch your moon and rising signs as well, because you might find some really interesting information within those too. So have a wonderful July ahead and find that inspiration with new love and awareness and your own connection to esoteric wisdom. Thanks guys, much love, namaste.